Welcome into WagerTalk TV. I am Drew Martin, joined by Tony Mejia and Dave Koken of WagerTalk.com. We're talking Saturday NFL playoffs. We got the LA Rams at the Green Bay Packers. This is the first game of the divisional round on Saturday, 4:35 Eastern, 1:35 Pacific kick here. We got a 45 total in Lambeau Field here, Dave, with the Green Bay Packers laying mostly 6.5. There is a couple sevens as we're talking today. What are you thinking with the Rams visiting the Packers on Saturday, Dave?
I was thinking they might have to play the theme song for MASH instead of the usual music leading into this game, because the Rams are not exactly healthy going into this football game. And how good is Donald going to be? That is absolutely vital as far as the Packers are concerned. I thought Green Bay did a heck of a job last week. I'm glad they did because I was on the Rams. But I got to tell you something. I think they're going in rather beat up here. And despite some favorable stats, they're going to have a tough time making a case for LA here. I don't like laying this many points in games, in playoff games. So that's going to be an issue for me. But there's just too much worry about the Rams' health as far as I'm concerned here. And you've got a rested Green Bay team playing in what figures to be favorable weather. An awful lot to like on the Green Bay side at this point.
And Tony, coming to you here, I mean, do you think it's too many points with the favorite here, the Packers at home?
I mean, I'm concerned with how their offensive line is going to look without David Bakhtiari. I mean, they already lost Brian Bulaga in offseason to free agency to the Chargers, and Bakhtiari is an all-pro and a guy that obviously has been in front of Aaron Rodgers for quite some time, and he was injured and won't play the rest of the way. So it's kind of a patchwork offensive line, which you don't want against the LA Rams. But as Dave alluded to, the Rams' defensive line is, I think, one of the biggest issues health-wise that are facing that team, with Aaron Donald dealing with a rib injury and Leonard Floyd has a concussion issue that you have to keep abreast of. Would I lay the 6.5 right now with the Packers? Probably not. I mean, I love Devontae Adams and the prospect of Jair Alexander holding down a banged-up Cooper Kupp. But at the same time, the Rams, if Jared Goff is healthier than he looked against the Seahawks, have a shot to cover such a big number. I mean, at this point, you see that the Packers only want to get out of town with a victory here. And, one advantage that the Rams have in this game is that the weather won't be inclement. Like, I believe it's going to be in the low 30s, but that's, limited wind gusts and something that's manageable for a team that could have run into 15-degree weather and snow flurries. So that is a bonus in the Rams' favor. And if both Floyd and Aaron Donald are healthy enough to go, I could see them at least covered.
Okay, good stuff, Tony. And yeah, the injuries are definitely a big part of this. But Dave, just kind of in conclusion here, like Tony talked about, favorable weather conditions. I mean, it still is, about freezing, and it's an LA team heading up, to the north. Is it something you're factoring in big time in terms of just the cold?
No, not to any great extent. I mean, if there was a lot of snow and a lot of wind, that might be another story. But it's just going to be cold, and that's not a big deal. It still somewhat favors Green Bay, but it's not the same without the fans. I mean, if there were a bunch of fans, sold-out crowd here, this might be a lot. I'd probably be adding 2 points to the number. But it's not. It's a home neutral, you can call it that, and that's the way it is around the NFL right now.
All right, guys. First one down for Dave Koken, Tony Mejia. I am Drew Martin. Make sure to be checking out Sports Memo and WagerTalk.com. Each and every Tuesday, we have $2 Tuesday, the hottest handicappers top play, discounted to just $2. Good at both websites, Sports Memo and WagerTalk.com.